Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TP InfoTech Day 2022 webinar. During the presentation, you will have the opportunity to submit your questions by typing them into the question box. You may send in your questions at any time. We will then collect these and address them at the end of the presentations. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Anna from the Diploma in Game Design and Development, and I will be your MC for today. We have a series of talks planned for this webinar, and we hope you will find them useful and informative. I would first like to invite Mr. Ryan Lim, Assistant Director of the School of Informatics and IT, to address us. Mr. Lim, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to TP InfoTech Day 2022. With COVID, we have experienced tremendous change in our daily life in the way that we work, play, and interact with one another. With this in mind, we have come up with a theme for today, which is driving transformation with IT. Some of you might have actually seen some of the projects that were done by our students and staff with partners like yourself. This is actually to show people that with IT, we can really resolve some of the issues and some of the challenges that we face on our daily lives. With this, I would like to invite you to actually listen to some of our speakers who will be speaking on areas in AI and analytics, cybersecurity, business transformation, as well as immersive media. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and I'd like to wish you a very, very interesting and enriching conference with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker today is Mr. Ewan Plogastel, Vice President, SES Business Analytics Chapter, Managing Director of Accenture Strategy and Consulting. Based in Singapore, Mr. Plogastel has 20 years of experience shaping and running large-scale business, digital, and IT programs. He has worked in a variety of industry verticals: airport, insurance, bank, retail, and telco across the globe, like in Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, France, and the UK, and is very connected to the ecosystem. Today, he will be sharing with us about the need for continuous transformation. Please welcome Mr. Plogastel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today at the Temasek Polytechnic InfoTech Day 2022. It's a very exciting event for the industry. I would prefer to be with you face to face, but with the current restriction, we had to switch to a virtual session instead. I've got a very exciting, very interesting topic to share with you today, very close to my heart, very relevant to any student, to any staff, to any professional in the industry, which is digital transformation and the need for continuous transformation. If you don't mind, I will quickly introduce myself. My name is Ewan Plogastel. I am Managing Director at Accenture Strategy and Consulting in Singapore. And my focus is to design and deliver big, complex, and innovative programs using data, digital, analytics, and AI for the largest organizations in Singapore. Actually, transformation used to be an exception. I remember when I started my career, I was called by a client who had to open a new market, open a new business. And for them, it was a huge change. It was an event. These days are very different. Transformation is a constant. It is happening every year, every quarter, every month, every day for our clients. Why? Because the world is changing at a very fast pace. Customer expectations are evolving. Regulations are getting updated. Social and sustainability aspects are taking more and more into account. Competition is coming from other industries, from startups, for instance. We had a pandemic for the past 2 years. So any organization in any industry needs to transform, needs to reinvent itself at a much faster pace than before. The challenge for the organizations is that transformation. No, sorry, I redo, excuse me. So slide 4, I redo. Transformation is required to survive. If you do not transform, you will be out of business very quickly. Actually, just look at the facts. If you look at the Fortune 500 companies in 1995, only 12% of them are still in the market in 2016. And 2016 was just before the digital revolution. So imagine by 2034, so in less than 15 years, 50% of the Fortune 500 will be replaced by new firms. And when you look at the largest market cap in the Nasdaq or in the Dow Jones, you can see that 9 out of the top 10 largest market cap companies did not exist 10 or 15 years ago. So if you do not transform, you will not be there in 10 years or even 5 years. And every company wants to avoid what we call the Nokia moment. I think we all remember Nokia, at least the older generation. Nokia, 10 years ago, was the #1 company globally for mobile phone. But they got disrupted by BlackBerry, by Apple, and by other companies. And Nokia is not here anymore. So think about it. 10 years ago, there was a global leader, and now they're out of the market. So if you do not transform, you will not survive. But what do we mean with digital transformation? What does it mean? Actually, the way I see it, and the way most people see it in the industry, is that physical world and digital world needs to grow together. So what is a physical world? The physical world, to keep it simple, is a brick and mortar industries. So all the organizations which are producing goods, products. The digital world are the digital native companies using data, digital experience, AI as a business model. So digital native are the Amazon, the Netflix, the Spotify. And we do not see these two worlds growing apart. We don't think that there will be in one side the digital world and in the other side the physical world. Not at all. They're going to merge together and they're going to grow together. And I'm going to give you 2 examples. If you look at physical world, one of the best examples is car manufacturers, or the Toyota, the Nissan, the Ford, the Jeep, very brick and mortar companies. And we all know that now they are embarking digital data and AI in their own device, in their own cars. In the other side was the digital world. You got all the digital native companies. Look at Amazon. Amazon is starting to open some physical shops in the US. And this will come to Singapore shortly. So we can see these 2 worlds merging together, growing together, physical world and digital world. And what do we mean by digital transformation? Is all these physical companies, these traditional brick and mortar companies embracing digital technologies to grow and to transform. That's digital transformation. The bad news is that transformation is hard, it's difficult, it's not easy at all, for many reasons. First one is lack of talent. To transform, you need deep skills in data science, in UX UI, in IoT. You need to masterize the cloud. You need to know blockchain. So you need people with the right skills. You need to change the way you work. You need to be more agile. Speed is important. The way you organize your team will be different. I think you will go away from the traditional business versus IT silos. You need to adopt a product-based organization. The relationship with the customer is different. In the past, the focus was on designing and delivering the best product at the right cost, with the right level of quality. Today, it's all about the customer obsession. Your company will need to be customer obsessed. And then technology. There are too many technologies in the market, too many technologies in your organizations. You will have to make some choice. Do you want to stay on-prem, or do you want to embrace the cloud? Do you want to use platform as a service or software as a service? Or do you want to leverage a cloud native software stack? There are many, many questions around technology. It's hard. Transformation needs the hands. It needs the heart. It needs the legs. It's a complete discipline, end to end. So I guess the question is, how does it all fit together? When we talk about digital transformation, we can be overwhelmed by the new skills we need. Big data, blockchain, design thinking, RPA, product owner, agile coach, customer centricity, platform as a service. Wow, very, very overwhelming. And it's very easy to get confused. And I think organizations need to be able to find the glue, to make it work together. And there are plenty of great examples here in Singapore. And I want to share one example from a local organization, Changi Airport, the best airport in the world. And I'm going to show a video now to explain to you how Changi is leveraging all these skills to drive digital transformation at speed and at scale.
Customer obsessed.
High-tech.
Strategic.
Collaborative.
Continuous learning.
Transformational.
Fail fast, learn fast.
Fun.
Welcome to DIVA. DIVA stands for Digital, Innovation, Venture and Analytics. DIVA is the innovation factory we have started with our client, Changi Airport in Singapore.
We partnered with Accenture to launch DIVA, a digital transformation program. This is a very strategic initiative for Changi Airport Group. In DIVA, we're hoping to inject new ways of working, as well as foster a culture of experimentation, innovation and collaboration.
We want to make an impact, not just for the airport, but for the customers and basically the entire ecosystem. To do that, we don't just create minimum viable products that meet functional needs, we create minimum lovable products that excite customers. We are inspired by the startup culture and we iterate quickly. We run experiments to build, measure and learn from feedback.
The partnership with Accenture is a good example of the way we do things innovatively in Changi and in Singapore. In DIVA, we strive to change the way we work, the way we think, and the way we serve our customers.
At DIVA, we are customer obsessed. we conduct lots of interviews and develop customer journeys for different personas. We always test our prototypes with customers on the ground to gather feedback right away. By understanding what each user is doing, thinking, and feeling at different touchpoints, we're able to enhance the customer experience.
Everything we do is data-driven, insights-led, and AI-powered. At Diva, we apply the latest artificial intelligence techniques such as machine learning and deep learning to design and launch smart products. For instance, we analyze huge amounts of data collected by different sensors and IoT platforms at the airport to generate actionable and real-time insights.
As an agile coach, my role is to ensure that our team turns new ideas into products at the right speed. We apply new ways of working, coming from leading digital agencies and startups. For example, we use rapid prototyping techniques to deliver exciting new products to the customers in days or weeks.
To provide speed and agility, we need to rely on the right underlying technology platforms. New technology services, such as microservices, cloud, security, containerization, or DevSecOps, set the foundation for our innovation factory.
We have a people-first culture here in Diva, where people are our greatest assets. This allows us to work and create at our very best. We want our team to look forward to coming here every day.
We value an environment where ideas are shared freely and where relationships are built by having fun at work.
And there is a new change in transformation. It's AI, artificial intelligence. In the old days, to grow was quite simple. You had to get the right capital, right labor, right productivity. Now AI is going to change everything. It's going to change the way we work. It's going to change the way we engage with the customer. It's going to change the way we organize the companies. It's going to change the way we work on a day-to-day basis. And I talk a lot today about the impact of digital and AI to the clients, to the organizations, but I want to emphasize the impact of AI and digital transformation on the society. And I want to show a very interesting video about AI being used to make the world a better place.
Coral reefs contain one of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet. They also perform a wide variety of functions that are critical to the well-being of marine life, people, and even the economy. Sadly, coral reefs are now endangered due to destructive fishing methods, overfishing, bottom trawling, poor water quality, and even the effects of the coal industry. Working together as a collaborative team, engineers from Accenture, Intel, and Sulubai Environmental Foundation, along with other key technology and industry partners, have designed an innovative solution for recreating and restoring coral reefs to their former health and stability. By utilizing the latest mobile, digital, and deep learning technologies, together with rapid prototyping techniques, they've designed a cost-effective edge computing solution that observes, classifies, and measures marine life, while also monitoring the progress of coral reef restoration. The effort is called Project Coral. The AI is for the artificial intelligence used to capture and predict marine life data.
So this is my last slide, my summary slide. And I think the key message I want to tell you is that digital transformation is gold. This is where you can grow your business. This is how we can make the world a better place. We can change the society, the environment, as we have just seen with the video, with AI. And the key word I would like you to to remember from this short presentation is value. It's all about value. You transform for the value. You need to be obsessed by value. No value, no transformation. And it's never too late to find the right business value in your business model. So look at digital, data, analytics, AI, blockchain, all the new technologies, all the new methodologies to find the right value for your company. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Flaugasto. Now we will view a project presentation by our graduating student, Lingesh, son of Ganesh, from the Diploma in Big Data and Analytics. He will share his project titled, Detecting and Resolving Bias in Predictive Models.
With the heightened use of AI in almost every aspect of digitalization, it is easy to see the many potential benefits from AI, but little attention has been given to the potential issues that it has, namely inherent bias and discrimination. So how can we be sure that the AI that we have created is objective and free of inherent biases? Project HEART aims to solve this issue. It stands for human centricity, inclusivity, accountability, robustness, and transparency. Qualities that ensure objectivity in any AI modeling. But how much of these do we get currently? As more and more companies turn to AI and predictive modeling to assist with their operations, objectivity is increasingly an important element to ensure that these models do not disadvantage anyone. Biases in predictive modeling can come about due to an over-prioritizing of accuracy or due to an imbalanced data set, which can be caused by issues in data collection or historical biases within the region. These issues can affect everyone or any organization, regardless of their size. Project HEART addresses this issue by bringing fairness as a measure to the forefront, allowing users to know when bias is present, which will allow them to take steps to reduce it. This entire process will be done in a 3-step plan, which will be carried out seamlessly within SaaSVia, as it encompasses all aspects of the analytics lifecycle. In step 1, after the data is processed and model pipelines have been created, we can introduce fairness matrices to give us a numerical understanding of the bias that is present within our model. On a scale of 0 to 1, a score of 0 to 0.3 indicates acceptable bias, while a score of 0.3 to 0.7 indicates moderate bias. Any score above 0.7 indicates that there is a heavy bias within our model. Once this bias has been identified, we can move on to step 2, where code blocks will be then inserted into the model pipeline in order to adjust thresholds until the bias detected is within an acceptable range. All of this will then be visualized in step 3, where dashboards will be created in SAS Visual Analytics to give us a more clear understanding of the entire process and allow us to compare the trade-offs between the two models. Now that we know about the project's flow, let's take a look at the process of using the various dashboard tabs. We begin the dashboard tabs and pop-ups that provide an insight into some potential issues with our dataset, such as any potential imbalances or existing bias. It also shows us a before and after for data preparation. Once that is done, the entire process will be run in SAS Model Studio, which gives us the best algorithm for our dataset. Once we have the predicted probabilities for our dataset, we can investigate the various thresholds to get a model with the highest accuracy. This will be used as a baseline for comparison for our final model, which will have both accuracy and fairness as a metric. In order to get that model, we can use code nodes to balance the thresholds for the protected classes, such that the chances of getting a positive outcome are similar, regardless of whether or not a person is within the privileged or unprivileged class. This will give us our final model, which reflects both accuracy and fairness. From here, we can investigate not just our key fairness matrices, but also view how our model fares against all available fairness matrices. We can also view the trade-offs that were made in regard to accuracy and the potential profits and losses. Project HEART can easily be integrated into existing modeling processes, and it can help users to deal with any unconscious bias that may be present in their model. Not only will this give potential customers a better experience, but it also let users be sure that they will not incur any penalties from regulatory authorities due to the bias in their datasets. While this project provides a good starting point for identifying and addressing biases in AI and predictive modeling, more can be done to improve upon it. This project only goes into one method of bias mitigation, and there are other methods which can also potentially be integrated into future versions. As software develops and becomes more capable, parts of this project can also be fully automated. Updates to the VIA software can also potentially simplify the process for future iterations. All in all, AI and predictive modeling is a double-edged sword. While it provides us with many benefits, it also has some downsides, such as inherent biases causing it to discriminate against some users. Project Heart allows users to deal with this by allowing them to easily identify and mitigate bias in a manner that can be easily integrated into existing modeling systems. With Project Heart, you can work with AI with peace of mind.
Thank you, Lingesh. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Mr. Jeffrey Na, founder and CEO of Future Ready Academy. Mr. Na is a former banker turned entrepreneur and investor with 40 years of business experience across ASEAN, China, and India. He is a venture builder and investor in technology and education startups and venture capital funds. Today, he will be presenting on the metaverse. What is it? Will it work? And does anyone want it? Please welcome Mr. Jeffrey Na.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, Anna and Nash for Temasek Polytechnic. I'm privileged and honored to be here to present to you this afternoon about the metaverse of everything. I'm sure everyone's heard about the metaverse in some form or another, but what is it and how is it going to make an impact in our lives? So without further ado, I'll explain a little bit about the metaverse. So metaverse, what is it? It's the future of the internet where the virtual and the real world comes together. I think you've heard from the earlier speaker that the virtual world and the real world has to come together to improve the productivity, and it's not man or machine, it's man with machine at the same time. Just to understand the word metaverse, meta means beyond, and verse is the short form of universe. So it's beyond the universe. So metaverse is all about a world that's beyond the universe, meaning that it's when the virtual world and the real world come together. So will it be like, I don't know how many of you have seen this movie some time ago, it's called Ready Player One, but this movie is about blurring the scene between real and the digital world through the advancements of AR and VR technology. This movie is not quite, the technology today is not quite ready to do Ready Player One. I think it will be at least another 10 years before the technology will get even anywhere near close to Ready Player One. So the 6 characteristics of metaverse are identity, interoperability, immersiveness, economy, community, and the real-time persistence. So these characteristics are important to define, but the metaverse today is already being used for entertainment, for VR concerts, for lifestyle streaming in real life 3D, and as well as fashion shows even in a virtual garden as in Roblox. So metaverse is already present today, and the metaverse in the future will be the advent of e-commerce. So imagine you are shopping on e-commerce is not flat 2D, but actually you are exactly as if you are in the physical shop, except that you're in the virtual world. And also when you are buying real estate, you will be able to, today some of the real estate brokers already showcase the 3D virtual 3D of a show flat, so you can actually buy real estate which is already in the virtual world. And education can become whether you're learning about the galaxy or the human anatomy, or the surgeon is trying to do heart surgery, and a remote expert surgeon can do remotely and assist the surgeon on hand in the hospital with the advanced heart or brain surgery. So all this is what the metaverse can happen in the future, and it's not just about gaming. However, physical jobs will migrate to the metaverse. Fashion designers could become avatars. Architects could be designing virtual buildings and not just physical. So it's a mesh between the physical and the virtual world. Decentraland, which already exists, is already a $3 trillion opportunity. It's a 3D virtual world based on Ethereum blockchain, where users can create, explore, and trade NFTs using cryptocurrency. So it's like having monopoly in the virtual world on steroids. So next. So these are the current big players in the metaverse. In the area of entertainment, Unity, Roblox, the Sandbox. I'll explain a little bit more about Sandbox and Roblox later. But in the financial world, Algorand, Compound, Uniswap, and in engineering or manufacturing, NVIDIA and Autodesk, and in social, Meta, or formerly Facebook, Microsoft, ByteDance, which is TikTok, as well as Eon Realty, which is our Future Ready Academy's partner. I'll share a little bit about Eon Realty and how they make the metaverse alive with their AR and VR technology. So as you can see, the supply chain map of the entire metaverse ecosystem comprises of a lot of players in the software, hardware, content, the cloud computing, as well as the semiconductor chips, as well as the platform that connects the demand and the supply side, and as well as the telecom services that will power the connectivity between platforms, between demand and supply side, as well as the devices, if there are devices that connects, as well as consumer enterprise examples. So brands like Nike, Louis Vuitton, Ralph Lauren, and Adidas have rushed to create a space for the brand in the metaverse. And I think more will follow. As you can see, both in experience, discovery, creator economy, spatial computing, decentralization, human interface, and infrastructure. There is no shortage of companies, some of which are very household names like Google, Facebook, Fortnite, Meta, Unity, Roblox, Amazon, Microsoft. Some are less obvious ones, but everyone, it seems like almost everyone, and not just the technology guys, are interested in being in the metaverse. Facebook's idea of metaverse is that it can be for meeting, studying, exercising, socializing, or gaming. This is a video, but it's a pity I can't show this video. This is Horizons World, which is Facebook's representation of what the metaverse can look like and how you live, work, and play in the metaverse. And how does that affect you in the physical world and the virtual world? Okay, I'll move on because I can't play the video. And then Microsoft's vision is holoportation, which is to be able to have you appear in a place virtually with others. So here you can see the father and the daughter is virtually available with another person who is physically available. So the combination which allows one to transport oneself virtually to another location. The sandbox, this is where I think it's very interesting. The sandbox is one of the leading platforms, and they have recently become a unicorn in the last several months, where players play to earn. Normally for games is pay to play. Now that in the metaverse, as in the sandbox, it's play to earn. What does that mean? You can build your own, you can buy land, you can build your own Disneyland, you can build your own hotel, you can build your own, and then you can sublease to a hot dog stand, you can sublease to a Ferris wheel operator, or a gaming operator of different games or Ferris wheel ride. So all these gaming experiences will be able to get monetization through an Ethereum blockchain. So it's a pity I can't show you the video, but if you're interested, please do visit the sandbox. It could be very interesting. Basically, the summary of a sandbox, what I would say, it's monopoly in the virtual world that's tokenized. So it's a monopoly in the virtual world where you can buy and sell land, where you can build a hotel, go to jail, or rent an apartment, or create a manufacturing factory, or have somebody build a factory for you and pay them. So basically, it's everything that you can do in the physical world, except that it's done in the virtual world, and it's tradable. So those who have skills to build a factory, a hotel, or whatever, a power station, you build it in the metaverse, and then you can sell it. Those who can't afford it, they can rent it or they can buy it. So build, rent, or buy, all in the virtual world as if you do it in the physical world. And the tokens at which you trade, buy, sell, or rent will be tokenized and can be convertible in the exchanges, the coin exchanges, which allows you to convert back and forth into fiat currency. Next. Eon Realty is our Future Ready's partner in the AR and VR space. You can see that if a kid is learning about human anatomy, or if the doctor is heart surgeon is helping another heart surgeon on the spot who is not as experienced to help him operate the heart surgery, he'll be able to see a dissection of the heart cross and in virtual 3D. He can get into and immerse in the heart, and this will be able to be a more virtually immersive and engaging lesson for the medical students or nurses, and it will be a tremendous help for the actual surgeons in the hospital to be able to assist remotely another less experienced surgeon to do the operation well. So it's the platform with which you can use virtual and augmented reality to create, learn, and train.
Thank you, Mr. Na. Okay, let's see if there are any questions from the audience. Okay, we have one question. So the question is about how should fresh graduates position themselves such that they are exposed to more job opportunities with metaverse industry in the future?
Yes, there are many opportunities. My recommendation is to get internships with companies who are implementing the metaverse technologies, or in fact, our own Future Ready Academy, we are launching a metaverse academy. So we are happy to take interns to intern in the metaverse academy, where you will be able to learn, create, and train others in the metaverse as well. This is one example. Then there are other companies who are also trying to use metaverse for their own in-house training, or to train the technicians, or in the healthcare, or in the education, or in any corporate training space as well. So I will try to look for internship opportunities that will be able to expose you where the companies are implementing the technologies to bring the metaverse to reality. You can choose any company that's involved with the metaverse in any way.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have another question. Is it a scary thought that people will put more value on digital assets rather than physical assets in the next 5 to 10 years? And do you think people will be very disconnected to their physical work in the next decade?
I will go back to history to say that when the television, when the radio was invented, they say newspapers will become irrelevant. And when the television was invented, they say newspapers and radios will become irrelevant. And when the internet was invented, it says newspapers, radio, and television will be irrelevant. Today, more than ever before, all are still relevant, but in different forms. Now, the newspaper is now consumed digitally, right? Now, a lot of, I don't know of any Gen Zs who consumes news in the physical newspaper. Only my generation still consumes the newspaper physically. All the Gen Zs and even millennials, many all consume the news digitally. So it's in a different form. So what I'm saying is change is the only constant. But change is not naturally a human ability to adapt to change. You need to make the effort to change. But unless you change, you will be overwhelmed by change. I think technology, whether digital or otherwise, is only a tool. A tool like a knife, like fire, can help you cook your food, cut your food, or it can burn your house and kill someone. The technology is neutral. If you adapt to it and focus on using the tool for good, it will create a better world. Obviously, we cannot avoid the dark side, because the dark side means there will be people who use technology in the wrong way, and that will be for bad. So what we need to do is we need to promote and educate more people to understand how to navigate the change, how to navigate the uncertainty, how to embrace uncertainty and become relevant in the future of work in the metaverse. It's not about man or machine. It's about man and machine working together, creating positive change and minimizing the many negative or dark sides. That is my recommendation.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Na. We have another question posted by a student from our audience. They're asking, what skills do I need for the metaverse? Over to Mr. Na.
The skills that are required in not just the metaverse, but I would say in the next 2 decades are 3. More than just digital is a given, but beyond digital, you need the skills to learn how to learn how to adapt, to learn how to navigate uncertainty and manage the change. Either you learn to navigate uncertainty and manage change and be comfortable with uncertainty and manage the change, or the change will overwhelm you like the tsunami. So if you don't learn to swim, the water will overwhelm you if there's a flood. But if you're well prepared, like Noah, who builds an ark, so that even in the burst of thunderstorms, you know how to navigate the uncertain terrain. Change is the only constant, so why not embrace change and learn to adapt, and learn to navigate the changing future, because that's life. Because life, what is life but one daring adventure? If you have not embraced change and adventure, you live, but have you lived? I leave you with that thought.
All right, thank you. And we have another question. How is the metaverse different from the gaming industry?
In fact, the gaming industry is for what you call forefather of the metaverse. Because in games, the early games are flat 2D. Okay, you shoot a rocket, it's 2D. You play Candy Crush, and then the candy falls here or there. So it's 2D. But in order to make gaming more immersive, more engaging, it has to become 3D. And when it becomes 3D and it has the sights and sounds of a world which you cannot only imagine, then it becomes, the virtual reality becomes a bigger reality than the physical reality can ever be. So when you are able to combine the physical reality with the virtual reality, it not only can apply to gaming, but now increasingly all industries, and I mean all industries, including healthcare, including social work, including education, including corporate training, including anything, everything can be gamified. And the way gamification creates an engaged audience, to that extent, it creates a far more engaging audience. That greater extent, so will be the learning. Because it's more immersive, it's more engaging. If it's more immersive, it's more engaging, then the learning will be far deeper and wider than it can ever be only with the flat 2D. So gaming is not just for fun. Gaming can enhance learning. Gaming can help you to learn faster. And so whether you are learning as an engineer or you're learning as a doctor or scientist, your learning can leapfrog with the virtual reality. So with the virtual reality, you as a scientist will be able to do far more greater work as an engineer or a scientist or a businessman, far more than if it's without the virtual world. So gaming is the forefather and the motivation, and to drive the 3D and immersive reality. And because of gaming, all learning can be enhanced. And with that, your ability and your capability will be enhanced because your learning has been enhanced.
All right, thank you. In the interest of time, let's have one last question. So this question asks, you mentioned about the token from the gaming metaverse. Do you think it can be a viable job for people to earn as a living?
Yes, it can be. I say it can be, but it will need skills. So if you can create, as I say, in the virtual world, it's like playing a Monopoly. If you have lots of cash, then if you don't know how to, you can buy the land, you can get someone else to build the hotel or the amusement park with which you can collect rent. So if you have cash, but if you have no cash, but if you know how to build a hotel or amusement park, or even if you know how to sell popcorn, you can still make a living. Whether you Walt Disney building Disneyland, or you are Marriott Hotels building a Marriott Hotel, or you are what? Factory, let's say Intel building a microchip. If you know how to build it, you can build it and sell it or rent it. If you don't know how to build it or rent it, you better have lots of cash to pay somebody to build it so that you can rent it. So there are many opportunities. It depends on what your skills are. But again, it's all about supply and demand. All about supply and demand. As with all jobs, the problem is when people look at jobs that are hip right now, like in the past decade, finance is like the hip job. So all engineers go become finance. But by the time they got themselves ready for finance, finance is no longer the growing industry. The growing industries now are blue, pink, and green. What do I mean by the blue, pink, and green academy? The blue economy is digital. So anything digital is going to grow for sure. Then the green economy, that's about sustainability. Anything about sustainability, whether it's about clean water, clean electricity, clean transportation, clean buildings, clean factories, it's all green. Lastly, it's about the pink economy. No, I'm not talking about LGBT following, although that's referred to as pink sometimes. The pink economy is called the care economy. What does it mean by care economy? It could be care as in healthcare. It could be care as in social work, social care, because as urbanization accelerates, as the world becomes more complicated, there's a need for more social workers, not only to help people with mental well-being or healthcare, or to help people with mindfulness training, or to help people with yoga exercises, or to keep fit. So those are the pink economy. The pink economy are social work, whether it's in the healthcare space or social work space. So there you are, the digital economy that is blue, the green economy, which is sustainability, and the pink economy, which is about care for the human. So these are the growing sectors. And if you would, I encourage all students to try and read up more about where and what are the ones in the blue, green, and pink economies, where the opportunities are, and to see how you can apply the technology that you learn in school to apply to the blue, green, or pink, and then you will have a wonderful future. I wish you many more blue, green, and pink future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Na. And now we shall, thank you. We shall now move on. We will have a project presentation by our graduating students, Muhammad Yusuf bin Adli Nazri, Lam Zheng Yao Nigel, and Nathan Teo Jiachun from the Diploma in Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics. Their project is titled Blockchain-Based Chain of Custody. And following that, we will have a project presentation by our graduating student, Li Jiawen, from the Diploma in Financial Business Informatics. Her project is titled Signature Forgery Detection Model.
Hi, my name is Nathan, and I will be sharing with you my group's project on blockchain-based chain of custody. First, allow me to explain the importance of the chain of custody. During the investigation of criminal cases, the evidence collected must be handled properly so that it can be used to support the case in court. When evidence is transferred from one person to another, there is a risk of the evidence being tainted or tampered with. So, the integrity of the evidence needs to be verified. This is through the chain of custody. What is the chain of custody? It's a record of the movement of the evidence. It tracks details like the person who has handled the evidence, the date and time of it was retrieved or transferred, as well as the purpose of the retrieval. This process usually involves the physical signing of forms to track the logging in and out process. However, anyone can easily manipulate such documents. This is where the blockchain comes in. Blockchain can store the information in such a way that makes it impossible to alter. Thus, we can preserve the integrity of the information. Our solution is a tamper-proof evidence management portal. This digital system records the details of anyone interacting with the evidence. It uses blockchain technology to verify the chain of custody by decentralizing the recorded data. We have also included many features that help to improve the overall quality and usability of the site. So, how does our blockchain chain of custody system work? Our portal uses a distributed node system and includes many features such as the delegated proof of stake mechanism, access controls, two-factor authentication, and an audit trail. Here we have proof of work for our blockchain. It ensures that every new block created is with integrity and is not undermined by any wrongdoings or errors. This function will check the hashes of the previous block and compare it to the current block. It will also check if the indexes are correct to make sure it hasn't been altered. Next, we look at the delegated proof of stake. Delegated proof of stakes makes use of the shareholders' votes to reach a consensus in a fair and democratic way. The hash values from all nodes will be obtained and put into an array. A function then checks the number of unique hash values. If you get 2 unique hash values, that means one of the nodes has been tampered with. If there's only 1 unique hash value, then all nodes agree and there is no tampering. The next feature in our solution is the ability to manage access controls. What is access controls and how does it work? Access controls is the limits on who or what can access the requested resources. Authentication and session management are some resources that are needed for access controls on online applications. It is important to set access controls accurately to protect the integrity of the evidence. Another feature we have included is two-factor authentication. Google Authenticator provides an added layer of protection as users will have to use their phones to log into the chain of custody portal. There will be a rolling block of code, meaning that the 2FA code will be constantly changing. This makes it difficult for hackers to hack into users' accounts. On top of that, there's a one-time password that's sent to the user's email. Once a valid email one-time password is entered, the user will not have to enter the one-time password from email again and will only need to enter the codes from Google Authenticator for later login attempts. For evidence to be admissible in the court of law, 2 things must be present: the chain of custody as well as the audit trail. For our audit trail part, we display the data from the blockchain in a graph to show the types of evidence currently in the system and the events that have occurred in the portal. For chain of custody, we'll record details about a transfer between 2 officers. The audit trail tracks the date, time, the name of the officers, as well as the type of activities and location. So, what are the key benefits of the blockchain chain of custody system? Firstly, we preserve the integrity of the evidence. This gives our solution credibility to be used in professional environments. Secondly, our solution makes the entire process transparent. This is because it shows all the details of the evidence, the personnel involved, as well as the activities performed relating to the evidence. Thirdly, our system includes many user-friendly features, such as advanced search functions, as well as easy report generation. Lastly, but most importantly, our use of a distributed node system makes it almost impossible to alter the data in the chain of custody. This will allow the evidence to be admissible in a court of law. This project can be enhanced with 3 improvements: a blockchain mechanism that can be included for the audit trail, automation that can be used to add evidence into the system, and finally, we can improve upon the advanced search features that were mentioned previously. To conclude, our blockchain chain of custody system is a tamper-proof solution that ensures the integrity of the evidence is preserved. Thank you.
Do you know that false signatures do not only come in the form of someone falsely replicating another person's signature, but also refers to the digital creation of handwritten signatures? Computer-generated signatures can be difficult to differentiate due to the similarity in font type, like shown in the image above. Hi everyone, I'm Jiawen, a final year student pursuing the Diploma in Financial Business Informatics. Today, I will be sharing with you how the signature forgery detection model can help to detect false signatures within documents efficiently and accurately. The rationale in creating a machine learning model to detect false signatures was inspired by the Know Your Customer business process, which requires customers to upload their proof of identity documents for identity verification and authentication. The process covers increased incidences of fake identification documents with false signatures, and this leads to higher probability of signature manipulation and document forgery. Thus, a signature forgery detection model is developed to help verify the authenticity of the signatures. This improves accuracy and speeds up the validation process of detecting signature manipulation within the documents, helping the company to combat fraud. Hence, I implemented the approach of training a binary classification model. This approach uses the deep learning technique to give a classification decision of the authenticity of the signatures within the POI documents. The key technologies used include the YOLO v5 repository, the Python programming language, and Jupyter Lab Notebook. The key functionalities of the model are: from the input of the identification document, the model will locate and extract the signatures from the POI documents. After locating and extracting the signature, the model will leverage the deep learning technique and use a binary classification decision on the signature. The model then gives an output decision on a signature, predicting if a signature is authentic or forged. You must be keen to see how the solution works. I am happy to provide you a short demonstration. From the web page, the user first clicks on the Choose File button to select a signature image that he intends to verify. The image that the user selected will appear on the web page. The user then clicks on the Upload and Check button to send the image to the model. The model will proceed to analyze the authenticity of the signature and give an output decision on it. It will display its prediction on the signature with a real or fake label. What are the key benefits of implementing this solution? The first key benefit of the model is that it yields improved accuracy substantially as compared to the first baseline model. The model, with improved machine learning algorithms, reduces direct human intervention when making predictions on the signatures, hence eliminating human errors. The second benefit of the model is that it is cost-effective. By utilizing the model, it helps to automate repetitive tasks of identifying forged signatures. The automated process helps to deliver a swifter checking of the authenticity of the signatures, resulting in increased efficiency in flagging forged signatures more effectively. To further enhance the solution, we could further explore the following. Firstly, we could work on eliminating background texture of the signatures. With reduced noise around the signatures, I believe the accuracy will be further enhanced. Secondly, we could train a multilingual model that can detect character strokes of the signatures in other languages. This will help detect computer-generated signatures of other languages. Although the concept of the signature forgery detection model is simple, these detection efforts made by the model is able to catch a significant number of computer-generated signatures within the documents. With increased online scams, the implementation of the model will help the company save unnecessary losses and protect its reputation. With that, thank you for your attention.
Thank you, students. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Tang Jiasheng, Senior AI Engineer from Yuzu Games. Mr. Tang is an AI scientist with 4 years of experience developing and deploying AI applications and game development. He focuses on the generative deep learning AI tech in the AI field and has innovative experience in adopting machine learning technology for the video game industry. Today, he will be presenting a talk titled Dokidare, a platform for 2D avatar customization and controlling. Please welcome Mr. Tang Jiasheng.
Hello. Yeah, I'm honored to be here to share with you our product called Dokidare. So Dokidare is a platform for 2D avatar customization and controlling. I will talk about how we started out, where we're now, and the challenges we have been facing, and lastly, our roadmap. So as the title mentioned, it's a platform for easy 2D avatar customization and controlling. So these are the key words, the 3 keywords I'm going to explain through in the next a few minutes. To understand why we want to do this product, let me explain by what is a 2D avatar. So here are 5 characters. Each has 2 versions. The option A on the left is the 2D version, while the option B on the right is the 3D version. So we have conducted a survey and asked around and about 200 participants reply to our survey. We asked them from the A and B, which option is more appealing to you? And here is the results. As you can see, the blue section is for the A option, then the green section is for the B option, and the yellow is for neutral. So this shows that majority actually favors the 2D version, which is option A. Although 3D technology has been advancing so much over the years, is still the 2D illustration still has its own advantages, like is not limited by the 3D rendering effects. It can be more expressive, can be more stylized, and also show more details. And that's why in a lot of like medias, people still like to use the 2D version instead of the 3D version. So I'm sure many of you have used 2D avatar, 2D character as your profile picture in some social media platforms. And these characters are your avatars. So this is what I mean by 2D avatar. So 2D avatar is nothing new, but in recent years, there's a trend makes the 2D avatar interesting again, which is is a VTuber. VTuber is like a YouTuber, but who creates contents or do streaming using a virtual avatar instead of like showing their true face. The picture here shows a popular VTuber whose name is Gura. She uses this Japanese anime style girl as her 2D avatar. And in this picture is showing she's playing game, chit chat, and interacting with her fans. The VTuber trend started in Japan and now it spread to Asia, Southeast Asia, as well as the Western countries. And there is an increasing number of people who debut as VTubers, and there are even professional agencies for these VTubers. Like this is a famous one called Hololive, and another one is Nichi-Sanji. And all these VTubers inside the pictures are in their agency. And the chart here actually shows the top YouTubers who has their top earnings in the super chat. So it's like the fans will donate in the super chat. And these are ranked by the amount of earnings in USD dollars. As you can see, among the top 10, right, actually 9 of them are VTubers. And all these 9 VTubers are using 2D avatar as their avatar in the YouTube in their videos. So despite the increasing demand for 2D avatar, there is still a very high barrier for the people to really want to become a VTuber or someone who uses a 2D avatar to stream their videos. And this is the typical journey, how they can get their 2D avatar. So they need to have an idea, like what kind of avatar they want. So they need to communicate with the artist. They need to pay the artist like a few hundred, ranging from maybe a few hundred to thousands, to just draw the character. Then once you have feedbacks, you have to tell the artist to change certain details. So forth and back and forth will be taking a few weeks. And once you have the character, you need to have the character rigged. Rigged means make the character movable, animatable, so you can control that character. And this is another, you have to contract another professional rigger to do this. It will take another maybe a few $100 and a few weeks. Once you get it done, you need to install some controlling software, get it set up, which cater to your character. Then you can start streaming. So this entire process will take at least a few weeks to months. And you can see the money signs here, the $4 signs. Actually, I mean, it's like from a few hundreds to even thousands or even $10,000. And of course, the typical casual user cannot afford this, and this is the high barrier preventing them enter and trying the VTuber stuff. And our platform actually aims to simplify the entire process. So once you have some idea, then you can use our Tokidirect platform. You can customize, create your own avatar within minutes, and then you can start controlling and do streaming. So that's our idea, and it's pretty fast, and you can do this with a very low budget and even free. Here is a competitive scan in the avatar creation landscape. The horizontal axis 2D and 3D, 2D on the left and 3D on the right. Vertical axis is the level of skills required to create avatar using the tools showing here. So the low skill is at bottom, then high skill is at the top. You can see the 3D side is quite crowded. We have those professional tools like Blender, Maya, 3D Max. These will require at least a few months or years of learning for you to create a decent 3D model. There are also tools catered for casual user like MetaHuman Creator. This is created by Unreal. And the Character Creator is a tool by iClone. Then there is also this Vroid. So these tools, basically, they provide you with the base templates. Then you just customize the templates, like drag the eye shape, the nose, the width of the mouth to have something like similar to what you desire. So these require lower skill, but it's still 3D characters. On the left-hand side, we have like Live2D and Spine and Photoshop, which have the capability to create a 2D rigged avatar, but they require very high skill. So the same as the Maya 3D Max, you need to learn for months to use them to create something decent. And we are here at the left bottom corner. We are a 2D avatar creator, and we only require very low skill. So the casual user can use our platform to create their avatar. And we are confident that we are the only one standing in this quadrant. So I always mention low skill, like create avatar within minutes, but how exactly can user do that? Here, let me walk you through the process. So firstly, a user will land on this page, and he can select a template to start with. We have a number of different templates here. We have half body male, female, full body male, female, and also a chibi model and a simple stickman model. So once you selected the templates, you can land on this page. These are for you to customize each components of this avatar. So almost all the components can be customized. Like on the left top, you can see that there are hair, face, body, and expression. And under each category, there are multiple components you can customize. For example, this is the body. You can customize the pants, the shorts, skirt, also like different props, the thigh props, arm props, shoulder props. And for each component, we have a number of assets you can choose and change the appearance of the avatar. And here is a quick demo showing how the entire process is done. You can see that just selecting different parts, then you can have your own avatar created. And the entire process can be done within, not within, but just 1 minute. Then you can have your own avatar created. And here's a collection of avatars created using our platform. They come in different shape, different style, and also color scheme, gender. Yeah, just to show what the capability our platform can do. And note that actually the avatars created are not just static image. They are fully rigged, means they are animated and they can be controlled by the user. And this is a screenshot of our controller. We call it DD controller. And it's a desktop software, and people can download and use this to control the avatar created by the user. Here is a quick demo showing how the controlling is done. So basically, whatever the user does, blink the eye, open the mouth, wave the hand, so all these will be recorded as a landmarks inside the controller. Then these will drive the avatar to do the same movements as the user does. And beside controlling, we also enable user to put different props and backgrounds to enhance the entire setup to make it more interesting. So this is to show like how you can have props pinned to the avatar, so it moves together with the avatar. Yeah, so the girl now is playing guitar, and can change the backgrounds also, as well as the expressions. And of course, as a VTuber, you need to string or put your avatar together with some content. And you can use our Dokidare controller to stream to OBS or other software and appear as an avatar just like the VTuber does. Here's an example showing how it looks when you use avatar in an online meeting, like a Zoom meeting. Yeah, so instead of like showing your face, maybe you just want to appear as a interesting avatar here. Yep. So now we have shared the how we begin and our current status and the important features of this Dokidare platform. Now let me talk about some challenges we have faced during the development. Remember we have talked about we are the only one stands in the bottom left corner. We're the only one in the 2D low scale region. It definitely gives us the competitive edge, but it also means that this path is less explored. We don't have a reference to learn from. So artists will just do their 2D avatar drawing inside PSD, but we need to automate the entire process and then make it into a rigged, controllable avatar. So this entire process will involve a lot of trial and errors. And yeah, so in the end, actually, we realize we have to assign a dedicated person to be the technical artist. So he will be the one communicating between the art and the tech side. Yeah. So yeah, and it's really after a lot of trial and error, we have understand the entire process, how it can work out. Another challenge is the controlling. We need to have a real-time and accurate tracking based on the webcam. Here illustrates a conventional setup for a VTuber. You will require an iPhone X in front of the face to track the face landmarks. And you will also require some motion cap suit and hardwares like the Xsense suit and the Manus VR gloves. With all this hardware, the price can go up to around 20K USD, which is definitely like normal user, casual user will not be affording that. And we want to simplify the entire setup and just make the entire thing into webcam, because everyone will have webcam. And with webcam, you can do, of course, you cannot reach the accuracy as those high-end standards hardwares, but at least you can use a webcam to do a simple control and move your avatar in a desirable way. Luckily, we have already some AI solutions which can use webcam to track your face landmarks as well as the hand. But it's still challenging because we need to combine this into one application. You know, like AI models, the deep learning models will be very computer resource expensive. So we need to do a lot of optimization and tricks to make it run in real time. Means like more than 30 FPS. So the user will not experience any lagging when they control the avatar. And finally, let me share a bit on our roadmap. One feature we want to have is a one-click avatar creation. Although we compress the avatar creation time from like months to minutes, but sometimes the users still feel lazy and they may want to have just like one click, then have the avatar creator for them. We think it's a nice way, and is possibly can be done. Of course, like through the randomized algorithm, and just randomize the assets. Then you can have any avatar creator within like seconds. But randomization cannot be controlled, so sometimes the character creator may not be very nice. So we can embed some rules, like the color of the assets need to be similar, the style need to be similar, like all from fantasy or all from medieval age. So maybe the avatar will look coherent and consistent. And another way is we can give the user more control. So the user maybe can upload an image of existing like anime character or something he has drawn or someone he has in mind. Then we can use the AI model to analyze the image, to extract the keywords, the key features. Then we use these features to find those assets in our library. Then we can create something which are similar to the one provided by the user. This technique can be also done by text. So let's say if the user provide a text like describing a sleepy vampire, like wearing pajamas, then we try to extract these keywords and find the corresponding assets to create the avatars. So these are ways maybe more interesting for the user to try out and create their avatars in different ways. And another thing is we want to have artists to upload and sell their avatar assets on our platform. For now is we create all the assets within our own team in-house. But in the future, if we can enable the artists to upload and sell their own assets, it can become a marketplace, which hopefully can be sustainable. So the artists can use the platform maybe to show their skills as well. If they want to sell their assets, they can make some money. And with all these assets contributed by the artist, the consumers, our users can also have more options to customize the avatars. So hopefully it can become a sustainable system. Yeah, so thank you very much. And at last, this is our website, dokedirect.com. It is still at the early stage, so feel free to try it out and create your avatar for free. And we welcome any suggestion and feedbacks you have. And yeah, thank you much. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tang, for your sharing. So now we will open up the floor for questions. So it seems we have a few questions in already. Okay, we have this first question. There are many very nice avatars shown in Dokidare. So will the user be able to download their own avatar from Google and use as their customization?
That's one of the features we have in mind. So it's the one I just talked about in the roadmap. So if the user have some like pictures, he search online on Google, find it interesting, maybe in the future we can enable the user to upload the picture. Then we analyze the picture and extract the features and customize the avatar, which are similar to the one shown by the user. Yeah. But
okay.
Perhaps, yeah, it's one of the features we are going to implement in the future.
All right, that's interesting. Okay. All right, next question. It seems that VTubers are quite popular. Do you think they are more popular than normal YouTubers or Twitch streamers? And if so, why?
Interesting question. So I cannot say VTuber is definitely more popular, but some of the statistics, like because VTubers are more, they can do better when they do streaming compared to the normal YouTuber. So one of the chart I showed previously is a super chat. Is the one during the live streaming, people can donate money through that. So the stats show that for those YouTubers use the super chat, the VTubers are the top earners. They are the ones get the most of the income through that. So in this aspect, the live streaming, I think definitely VTuber has some advantage, and also there are quite a few research showing that VTubers actually can create more interesting content compared to normal YouTubers, because maybe there's no, how to say, the limitation is lesser because you're hiding behind your mask. Sometimes when you're hiding behind a mask, you can reveal your true self, or you can express more. Yeah, that's why actually the VTubers, when they do live streaming, they can show something more interesting compared to someone just a normal YouTubers. Yeah, so yeah, I think VTuber is a trend, and now it's still niche, but in the future, I think once there are more people trying out this one, it definitely will become a bigger market. And yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, next question. Do you think a low quality webcam would affect how much of the movement is being read by the game, or in this case, Dokidare?
No, the only limitation is the resolution of the camera. If the resolution is too low, like below 200, below 400 times 200 resolution, it might affect. But nowadays, most of the webcams are more than that. So yeah, low quality of the webcam is not affected. That will not affect the performance of the Dokidare or the tracking.
I see. All right, thank you. Next question. Do you think that apps like Dokidare should have an in-app purchases, for example, using game currency to buy limited edition props?
Is definitely one of the feature we will do, but is also like depends on how we're going to implement. We can do something like what games do. So for games, we also have coins. If you log in daily, then you will be given a certain amount of coins for completing your daily task and stuff. Then you can use the coins to buy stuff. Yeah, and if you want to speed up, like you are not satisfied with just buying a few props, maybe each week, then you can definitely like top up your own your money. Then you can upgrade your avatar more quickly. Yeah, so we still think because our initial proposition is want to help to lower the barrier. This is still our core value. We don't want to make it like very expensive for people to really create avatar with a few $100s. That's not what we want. But definitely is we need to have some way to monetize the product, and we want to maybe try to learn from the gaming industry. Yeah, so you can feel free to play if you satisfy with your pace, the progression pace, but you can definitely top in more money if you want. Yeah, so that's our plan. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question. This is actually my own personal question to you. Just kind of on the side, but do you happen to know any current VTubers that have used Dokidare as their platform to create their avatar?
Yes. So recently we are trying to use Twitter to advertise our platform, and there are a few respond to us, but they are not those like top VTubers with thousands or millions of subscribers. I think he's just started out, and he posts one of the avatar creator using our platform and say like, hey, hi, this is my new VTuber here. Her name is what, and her interest is, yeah, blah blah blah. It's an interesting sign. I think people are trying have see the value of the platform and started to really creating their own avatar with this. Yeah, so I also suggest everyone who watching this channel to try out to see what interesting avatar you can create. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Because I'm also considering creating my own, so I might, consider using Loki Data as for my own VTuber if I'm planning to. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last question. This is one last question. For users without a camera, but they wish to show some actions or emotions, are there any preset actions for these users to use?
Yes, so it comes with some animations, like what we have now is just an idle, like breathing, then like a dozing off, then like a say hi, this kind of preset one you can control. And one of the feature we're going to implement in the future is the mouth lip syncing. So when you talk, then depends on your voice, the volume of the audio, the mouth will move according to your audio. Yeah, but I think with the, although like if you have a desktop, sometimes you don't have a webcam embedded with the desktop. But actually, one of the thing I know is you can use your phone. You can just connect your phone to the desktop. Then there is some application can use your phone as your webcam. That's also one of the options.
All right, thank you again, Mr. Tang.
Okay,
so now we will move on. Now we will have a project presentation by our graduating students, project leader Tan Jung-liang, and members To Soo-yao Jaron, Wong Tzu-jian, and Yo Zhonglin from the Diploma in Game Design and Development. Their project is titled Kidney Defense.
Diabetic neuropathy, diabetes-induced kidney failure, is a very painful condition. Did you know, as per the National Kidney Foundation's report, Singapore ranks top in the world for diabetic neuropathy, with 2 in 3 new cases of kidney failure being attributed to it? The key to such health challenges is early preventative lifestyle awareness. Hi, I'm Zhi Jian from the Diploma in Game Design and Development. Our project precisely focuses on such early intervention. The project is called Kidney Defense. It's a real-time strategy game meant to encourage everyone to exercise more and eat healthily. It addresses the serious concerns of the rising trend of younger people getting kidney disease. What makes our project unique, unlike conventional approaches, this game educates people through a fun, engaging approach that also gets them to reflect on their own lifestyle and dietary choices. Our project aims to raise awareness of kidney disease and the harmful effects of overeating unhealthy food. Prevention is better than cure. This project has many key features. Firstly, it is a web-based game, which makes it accessible to everyone. Secondly, it is easy to understand and to learn the game mechanics. Lastly, there's an endless game mode which provides replayability to the game. Key technologies that we have used to create these games are Unity Game Engine and GitHub. Now, let me show you a demo of the game. This is the main menu. Here, there are 2 game modes for you to choose: Level and Endless. In Level mode, there are 3 levels, and in Endless mode, you can play against an endless wave of enemies representing unhealthy food choices that can cause diabetes-induced kidney failure. Finally, in the shop, you can increase your chances of winning by purchasing items. Here in the level, there is a tutorial that teaches you how to play the game. As you can see, there are enemies that look like unhealthy foods, and it's your job to defend your kidneys by placing exercising units onto the grids to combat such enemies. Now, you might be wondering, how is this more effective at raising awareness compared to other forms of media? Well, Kidney Defense, being a game, will be more experimental and iterative at engaging the audience. People will learn how sports can help prevent kidney disease, and this will encourage them to engage in an active lifestyle through engagement in sports and consumption of a healthy diet. Some potential enhancements that can be made are by adding more levels and different enemies to enhance the gameplay. In conclusion, Kidney Defense aims to raise the awareness about the importance of exercising regularly and eating healthily to prevent kidney disease. Play Kidney Defense. Your kidneys will thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to welcome our final speaker, Ms. Delphine Fong, Division Director of the Singapore Sports Council. Ms. Fong has been managing the Sports Safety Division of Sports Singapore since the division's inception in 2005. She has been actively engaged in sports safety promotion and drowning prevention programs. Ms. Fong has also conceptualized and developed the Sports Safety and Water Safety Champs program, the Buddy Up and the Be Seen Swim Safely National Seminar, and campaigned the first water safety networking session in 2006. Today, she will be presenting a talk titled Promoting Water Safety Through Innovation, a Strategic Initiative. Please welcome Ms. Delphine Fong.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, just a slight correction. I'm not Delphine Fong, okay. Delphine sends her apologies. She's having some issues with her internet connection. So my name is Lynette. Okay, I'm from the Sports Safety Division, and I'll take you through this presentation this afternoon. Okay, we're from Sports SG, and I'm sure most of you have heard Sports SG. One of the credos or the mission statement that we have is that we want everybody to live better through sports, okay? And in order to live better through sports means because we know that everyone enjoys playing games, being physically active. So in view of that in mind, where Sport SG looks is that it recognizes that safety must be a fundamental component of our sporting culture and a prerequisite for every healthy lifestyle. So in view of that, we want to actually inculcate in every resident or everyone playing sports here in Singapore to have a safety first mentality, okay? So that everyone, when we are involved in any physical activity, we can actually have a better experience so that we can come back and play the next time around. We don't want a situation whereby we're like a weekend warrior. We play once, we get injured, and then we get sidelined forever. Okay, next slide. So in Sport SG here, our corporate goal is that we want zero injuries. And it is believed, okay, that all staff here in Sport SG, that all accidents are preventable. Okay, which is why everyone, including individuals like you and I, we need to take personal responsibilities when we play sports, as well as for our stakeholders like our event organizers, facility operators, and so forth. Okay, next slide, please, Joy. Okay, if you notice that when we play sports, right, we play in school and then all the way up in universities, in polytechnics, and then also when we go to work, okay? We enjoy our games, we enjoy activities, we enjoy the bonding that we have with our friends when we play sports, more so in particular in team sports, okay? However, sometimes incidents do happen, okay? Unfortunately, incidents do happen, and one death is just too many, okay? You have as young as 5-year-old girl, okay, who recently drowned as a result she was left in a pool back in 2020, to as something recent, okay, of a 24-year-old man, okay, who was suspected of drowning in Kusu Island, okay, where he tried to swim across to the island itself, okay. So then, what can we then do? Now, we want to promote sports, okay? In Sport SG, we want to promote sports. We want everybody to enjoy this healthy living. And more so, I'm sure you all have heard from the newspaper, we want to bring sports back, okay? Especially in the last 2 years of the pandemic, okay? We want everybody to go out and be active. But we want to make it that, hey, look, if you want to play, let's do it safely. Let's enjoy the game, but what can we do to ensure that we can come back and play over and over again? So we look into areas whereby we can then do some outreach programs. Now, we do have various outreach programs where we try and do public education. So we would like to take into the technology portion, whereby because now everybody is talking about technology, everybody is looking into transformation. What else can we then do? So here we would like to look at how can we then take advantage of technology to add on, okay, to add on to our existing repertoires of outreach programs that we already have and that is ongoing for the members of the public. So before we embark on any project itself, we usually do some research work. We wanted to find out, are there currently any existing games out there in the market that looks at safety, water safety for children, for adults, okay? We wanted to see whether are there rules on water safety out there, and what are some of these rules itself, and can we then incorporate some of these water safety rules into the game? And some of during our research itself, we actually found out, yeah, there were quite a number of items, rules that were highlighted, okay? And so the next step was, okay, can we then incorporate this all into our games itself so that people are aware of them, okay? So that at the end of the day, if they go for a swim, what do they need to take note of? Now, when we develop a game, okay, we want to, or when we do any form of project, okay, we like to take into consideration that we do not want to do it like a one-off thing, meaning that, hey, I enjoy playing this game. For example, like Candy Crush, you know, if I get finish up the level, I get a lot of coins and I can move on and so forth. But the thing that we want to ask is, if we want to develop a game, what is the takeaway? Okay, what can the player learn from the game itself that can he or she, after playing the game, that he or she can apply to their daily life when they go out and play sport? So in this case itself, when they play the game, what can they learn? What are the key takeaways so that when they go into the swimming pool, okay, when they go to the swimming pool and swim, what are some of the good behaviors that they should exhibit? And what are some of the dangerous behavior that they should just leave it aside and not practice anymore? So that's where, when we look at in creation itself, in the designing of the game, we take into consideration the Bloom's taxonomy, okay, whereby at the end of the day, we are able to apply the knowledge, okay, of the game itself, and also enable the individual to replay the various mini games to reinforce some of these water safety concepts and rules into their minds so that they are aware. For example, things like do not hold your breath when you are swimming itself. Why? Because it leads to shallow water blackout. Or for example, children, I know we love to jump into the pool. Okay, we thought it's always fun when we were growing up. But what are the consequences? If we dive in, we may actually injure ourselves. Okay, so what we then do is that when we explain a concept or share a learning point within the game itself, not only are there images being used, okay, we also actually share with them what are the consequences so that they know, okay, that they're not supposed to actually do a particular action. Now, why mobile game? Okay, we know that with the advent of technology, like with the internet, a lot of people are now going online. We can actually search for a lot of information there. So when the pandemic set in, okay, a lot of people are stuck at home. We couldn't go out and play. So I'm sure most of you, like myself, we actually turned to our phones, to our mobile application, and we started to play games. Okay, and research was being shown that in 2020 itself, over 80 billion mobile games were downloaded. And interestingly, on average, players are spending 4.2 hours a day just playing games. Okay, so now taking all this information on hand itself, okay, can we then take advantage of the technology platform itself and try and use it to promote education, okay, to promote education in a way that individuals, they enjoy playing the game, okay, that is the good part, but they also take away a learning from it, so that at the end of the day, when we can go back to sports, okay, which is like what, if you notice, we are going back to physical activities now, okay, they can then go back to the pool and swim and play safely, okay. So how then can we then take advantage of these new platform? So the game itself that was being designed, we looked from it from two perspectives. One from the lifeguard's perspective, okay, and one from the swimmer's perspective, okay. As an individual, when you go to the swimming pool, what is normally the behavior of the what are some of the touch points that they actually go about when they are in the facility itself. Now, then also from the lifeguard's perspective, okay, from the lifeguard perspective, what are some of the things that the lifeguard actually look out for safety of the individuals? So the game, if you notice, you'll have two roles, okay? You will start off as an individual, as a swimmer, okay? You learn all the rules, you learn all the knowledge itself. You know what are some of the correct behaviors that you're supposed to exhibit. For example, before I go into the pool, I take a shower first, okay? So the game will actually tell you if you don't take a shower, what are the consequences, okay? So I will go through as a role of a swimmer, I will learn along the way, and as each level, with each mini game, I will gain more and more knowledge, okay? Now, after I've gained all this knowledge already, what then happens next? I will then progress into the stage of being a lifeguard. And the lifeguard is the part where you actually apply, because for instance, when I was an individual swimmer while playing the game, I know that behaviors like diving into the pool is not a right behavior. I know that spitting is not a right behavior. I know that I should be taking a shower before going for a swim. So now when I am a lifeguard, okay, I will then, when I play as a lifeguard, I will then actually visualize, I see the game itself, and I will start to notice, I notice that this individual is exhibiting some unsafe behavior, like holding his breath. Then I will then know what to do with the individual on the screen, on the game itself. So the lifeguard will go in accordance with the shift of the lifeguard's role. That is from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then after the end of day one, after the end of the shift, it will then start again onto day 2. So the main objective is therefore for the lifeguard is to keep the individual safe. The main role of the swimmer is then to learn all the right behaviors, what to exhibit, and what are the things that I must do to take personal responsibility to keep myself safe when I go into the swimming pool. So the idea of the whole game is to reduce drowning. Okay, we want to promote water safety. And when during the mini games itself, okay, we want people to be able to apply, meaning that when you play the mini game, be aware some of the games that you are playing. That is why the game enables you to replay a couple of times so that you can apply when you actually physically go to the swimming pool itself. And you can actually see in real life situation, what are some of the right behaviors that you should exhibit so that you can enjoy your swim and you can have fun when you do your water activity safely. But most important of all is we want to inculcate in everyone is to foster a proactive and safety first mentality mindset. Okay, that's the main aim that we want to inculcate. So, so this game itself that we would like to actually share with you, which Wee Hock and Joey will be doing a slide demo later, is to have a novel way, okay, a different way of educating members of the public in terms of water safety, okay? So, and this form of education by technology itself will add on, like I was mentioning earlier, to add on to our existing repertoire of outreach programs, okay? It will also help to raise awareness to players itself that when in the event they actually encounter certain incidents in the pool itself, okay, what can they do? What can they do? So, and also that the players itself, when they go through the game itself, they will learn various water safety knowledge of which they can actually share with their friends, their parents, and so forth, and also encourage them to actually, hey, come and join and play the game itself. What are some of the things you can learn so that as a family, as a group of friends, when we go into water bodies like swimming pools, we can go and swim safely. And the most important of all is that we want to educate and help one another, is that through such education, we can try and prevent major accidents and drownings when happen in waters. So this game also, we anticipate that it will also encourage people to anticipate what are some of the various accidents that may happen in real life. And hopefully, through the game itself, you have learned, you have mastered the game, learned all the key principles itself, and that's how you can actually apply. Okay, with that, I will now hand you over to Joey and Weehawk, our two interns who have actually developed this awesome game. And I hope all of you will enjoy it. Joey, Weehawk, over to you.
Thanks, Lynette. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the control that we developed for the game itself. So over there, you can see our control will be on a mobile phone, where we have a joystick, a swipe, and a tap feature for the player to control and allow them to play in the mini games. Next slide, Joey. Alright, now talking about the feature. Feature will be in a 3D world where player are able to experience the 3D feel of in mobile. Third-person view where it allow them to view the player from around the surrounding 360. Next one will be two different locations where we give the new player a different environment, looks and feel whenever they try the new stage, followed by the multiple gadgets for the player for their benefit for the later part of the stage, and will be able to apply for the daily login for the player to encourage player to keep logging into the game. And lastly, will be including the Google account for the player to able to use their account and keep updates and save data from their own Google account. Next slide, Joey. Alright, so this is a previous idea that we discussed during our internship, that we come with the idea of winning and losing this stage, where after each of the mini game that player has gone through, we have a win or lose condition where they are able to earn experience point throughout their playing of this our mini game. So each mini game where the learning benefit that later on Joey will explain more detail about it. But once they complete each of the mini game, they will unlock new ESP and new currency for the player to purchase something in our game. Alright, so next slide will be hand over to Joey to explain more detail about the mini games.
Alright, thank you, Weehawk. So currently the ideation we have is that the mini games is for the swimmer. There will be 7 safety tips, followed by importance of showering and also some water safety questionnaire. We would like to promote the swimming rules and the importance of being a swimmer, what you should do. So the 7 safety tips basically guides them along the day that they'll be playing, and also progressively becoming going on to the lifeguard stage, where they will be doing the CPR, water safety questionnaire, life safety doing the checking of life safety items and duty lifeguard, and also being aware of using the gadget called CVDDS. So the feature for this game is that we made it into a 3D and yet 2.5D world, and swimmers, which is the player, has to complete the objective, which is the 7 mini games I talked about, and complete the objective in order to gain levels and EXP. And after 4 days playing as a lifeguard, you will then progress as a swimmer. You will progress as a lifeguard segment, where players will get heat exhaustion, exposed to the sun for too long, and also other things more. So here is the demonstration where I'll be showing the trailer that Weehawk and I did for this project. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that was the trailer of the game Swim Watch. So from the game itself, there are 7 mini games which I said shown in the trailer also. So one of the mini game was 1 arm length. It's part of the like a mini game that we included in, which we always advise people to keep a close distance to allow assistance with a partner. So we would encourage, like for example, you're going out with a friend or anything, keep a 1 arm length distance. So if anything happens to you or your friend, you guys can help each other instead. And another one is don't dive. So what we discourage people to do is dive into pools, because we never know if they might hit until the wall or the concrete or the floor or even the ladder. So if as a swimmer, if you see people diving, we wouldn't like want them to do that. So that's why this mini game is basically to fish out the people who are trying to dive into the water before hitting the concrete or the floor, and just bring them out. And the next one is don't hold your breath. Some people like to challenge to say that, I'm going to stay in the water as long as possible or anything. But again, holding your breath for too long is not good, because if you are holding your breath too long, it may cause to drowning, and we would like to prevent that. Another mini game would be know your depths, because as a swimmer, you need to know your own swimming experience to swim in specific swim depths. You couldn't have the amateur to swim in a very deep pool, whereas they should be going to a lower depth for them to practice before gaining the confidence to go into a deeper pool. And the other one is don't be a hero, because some people, when it comes to swimming, they would just go to swim and not care about the whatever illness or even difficulties they have. Some people, they might be sick. And when you're sick and you go to the pool, it may cause yourself to a disadvantage in terms of swimming. So we would like to prevent that also. And if let's say you have any like back injury or leg injury, you shouldn't be even going to swim. And yeah. Another one is don't run. This one is the most simple of all. We discourage people to run along the pool. And when the person is running, you have to tap on them to slow them down. So this is the overview of the pool, followed by 4 days later, you get to become a lifeguard, where there is a small little bar to say the indication of the heat exhaustion the lifeguard is facing. So if the bar is going to be full, the lifeguard, he himself will collapse due to heat exhaustion. So we added that in as a little feature to show the realism as what lifeguard normally do under the hot weather in the pool to take care of the members of public. So to prevent that to happen, you have to go into the shade time to time to lower the percentage of the bar. So as you can see, after staying in the shade for quite some time, the bar will go down, and that will prevent the heat stroke. And also time to time, there will be people asking you questions about water safety, and you can answer them. If you answer correctly, you will gain EXP, which will level your character up. So also there is a mini game for lifeguard where you have to prepare safety items for the day. Once you go in, you have to go into the room and you have to pack in to the life pack. So currently we added the AED and the first aid kit to be added inside there. So we don't want to add too much first. Yeah, and also time to time there will be a life-saving event where you jump out as you heard the alarm. Once you hear the alarm, that means somewhere along this area there is someone drowned, and you need to perform CPR on them. That's when there will be a cutscene when you reach the place, and you have to perform like CPR, AED. But however, we made it more interesting by adding in procedures. How would you like to execute to save this person? Like, will you check for danger first? Will you call for the ambulance first, or will you do CPR compression to him first? Okay, so it's all up to the player, which is you yourself, how you want to execute it out, and it will also lead to an outcome whether or not this person will be safe or it be in life danger events. So that is all. And I'm gonna pass back to Lynette, which she will be talking about the opportunities of where this project will head on to. Let me just share back the screen. All right, Lynette.
Okay, thank you, Joey. Okay, where does the next step goes to? Okay, with this game itself, we can always upgrade it so that we can actually progressively increase it with more levels. Okay, now if you notice, the whole setting itself is based on aquatic facility, meaning that it's at the swimming pool. However, open water, though it's also enticing, it does pose dangers itself. So there are opportunities to actually upgrade the game further and to have a new setting, a new environment called open water, as people do swim out there. And we can also include various portions of the Swim Saver syllabus, of which primary school students are actually learning from that program itself into the game, as well as the Get Active questionnaire details. The Get Active questionnaire details is actually more on pre-participation questionnaire, meaning that, like what Joey was mentioning earlier, know your body. Okay, if you're not feeling well that day, okay, do you want to chiong and go and swim itself, or should I take a break? So this questionnaire itself, okay, it's more like to do a self-check first, okay, on yourself. Okay, are you feeling well? Are you on any medication, or are you having any have you got like breathlessness or giddiness recently, and so forth? Do you need to go and check back with your doctor first? Okay, get an all clear bill before you actually go in. So these are new additional information that we can actually include into the program, I mean to the game itself, okay, to enhance it and to make it more robust. And of course, one of the things that we also exploring is also the possibility of having some form of prize at the end of the day for the individual who completes the entire program, and to actually reward him or her for his accomplishment. Okay, before I end off, I'd just like to thank Weehawk and Joey for actually developing this program, this game itself. For if you realize itself, this game, the scenes, the game, the small mini games itself, they are actually very realistic. Okay, what they actually did was they actually went down to our public pools. They went down to our public pools. They actually talked to the lifeguards down there. What are some of the challenges that they face and so forth. They actually did their research work, okay, on, for example, like this computer vision drowning detection system, okay, how it actually works. They actually managed to actually string all these information together, okay, and incorporate into the program itself, into this game itself, so as to make it as realistic as possible for you as the player to play it. So that at the end of the day, okay, after you have gone through all the various stages itself, okay, you can learn, okay, remember all the key principles, all the safety principles. And when you go out into the pool itself and when you swim, you will know, okay, when I swim, when I'm swimming, I should not be holding my breath, okay? What are the consequences? Okay, if there is an emergency, who do I call? Okay, when there's an alert, when you hear the alert, okay, I know that someone is in trouble. Who should I alert? Okay, so that is the reason why they actually put in a lot of work to go down to make this game as realistic as possible. Okay, for everyone's benefit. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and with that, I end my presentation, all our presentation. Thank you.
Hi, okay, thank you, presenters. Let's now move on to our Q&A session. Let's see if there are any questions from the audience. Okay, we have one question. Our first question, I will direct this to both Joey and Weehawk. How long did the project take to develop, and is the project available to the public for trying? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, okay. When we took how long did the project take to project? We took around like 8 months or so, yeah, to develop this project, but it's still ongoing. because along the way, me and Weehawk, when we had outings with like Lynette and Delphine to sports facilities and all, we learned a lot of things and we added into the game along the way. And every day it's like a learning point for us. So it took quite a longer time, and we plan to add more more realistic features that is out there into the game, so people have easier things to relate to, and also makes the game more fun. And also, if this project is available to the public for trying, currently right now it's no, because we are still again, we're still adding more things inside there and also making the game better. However, look forward to it, as we will be publishing on the public quite soon.
All right, thank you. Okay, so about the game again, this question is from a student from the audience. What other difficulties or challenges would the player face besides heat exhaustion? And will there be a challenge for the player like the ones like the lifeguards face?
That is a very good question, because we did not take much consideration to the swimmer stage. However, because the lifeguard, as we talk to them, we talk to real lifeguards at the pool. We ask them like what difficulties they face. There are quite a lot, but we won't be adding all of it, because it's only just like, it's like a side job. But the main problem they face will be heat exhaustion, dealing with the members of public. There's a lot, but we wouldn't, again, we don't want to add too much difficulties in the game. We want to put something more relatable before something that big. And also, will there be a challenge for the player like the ones the lifeguards face? We can add in that also. That's a good question right there. We can take that into consideration.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we have one last question. This looks like a good initiative to educate the public in the safety guidelines at the swimming pool. Were there any user test data to see the effectiveness of this mobile game?
Were there any user test data to see the effectiveness? Okay, currently, right now, we only have user testing among ourselves with like the colleagues and all. So we haven't really have any data to show. But however, right now, we are still like sharing among ourselves, trying to give feedbacks and all. Recently, we had a meeting with other departments to see like if the game can be improved in any way. They were told us to clear the Singlish and a lot of other things. Progress is still being made over there. So currently, sad to say, we can't show any data. But however, yeah, we're still trying to make the full use of making the game better.
I see. All right. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any more questions. So thank you once again, presenters, for the informative sharing. And I look forward to seeing the game very soon.
All right,
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will now move on. We will have another project presentation by our graduating students, project leader Miko Lim Yu Hui, and members Muhammad Iz Irfan bin Amir and Sean Danish Wong Wei Jie from the Diploma in Information Technology. Their project is titled Deployment of TEMI Robot for Student Care Center.
Imagine having only a few teachers to handle a class of over 50 students in student care. Hi, my name is Irfan, and my team and I aim to revolutionize student care. We are revolutionizing student care through digitalization by using TEMI. TEMI will reduce the teacher's workload by taking over some of the administrative tasks. TEMI will also enable students to be more proactive in sharing their learning experiences. The app we have developed allows TEMI to act as an assistant teacher. We have used Android Java, Google Cloud Firestore, and the inbuilt TEMI LiDAR sensor to make this possible. Our project enables TEMI to assist in checking some of the written work, such as daily journals that used to be written on pen and paper. Instead, these entries will now be done digitally through TEMI. This is made possible through the app we have created using Android and Google Firestore. In addition, this customized application also allows students to input their learning and mood for the day. We've also used the LiDAR sensor to enable TEMI to move around the classroom, bringing it to life. TEMI is programmed to remember the classroom layout, and the sensor will ensure that it doesn't collide with any fixtures. Teachers can also use this innovative feature to deliver food, textbooks, and other materials to students without moving.
There are many key benefits to our solution. Firstly, we are able to create an engaging method for students to note down what they have learned, so Temi becomes a digitalized handbook. Secondly, through the emoji board, students who need someone to speak to have their needs met before going home. Hence, parents do not have to worry about their children keeping things from them, especially since mental health issues are on the rise. These are the three keywords we associate with our application: resourceful, practical, and convenient. So how does our app work? We'll now show you a quick demonstration of our application by running through the emoji board and IO functions in the student portal. This is followed by changing the life skills topic and showing how a teacher resolves issues in the teacher's portal.
In the student's portal, the student would find their name within the list, which can be sorted by levels, after which you are presented with 4 different tabs as seen here with a 5-minute timer per student. For this demo, we will be showing you the emoji board. Students are able to choose from the emojis to represent their mood for the day. Clicking on any of the emojis in the red column will then show an alert in the teacher's portal. Each unique emoji will then display a small message to show some encouragement to the students. Lastly, for the 3 remaining tabs here, students can input what they have learned and use it as a journal. Moving on to the teacher's portal, an updatable password log is created to ensure that students do not have access to it. Students who click on an emoji in the red column will be reflected in this Requires Attention tab. From here, the teacher and student will talk about this unresolved issue, and once it is resolved, the teacher will click on the name to show that their issue has been resolved. The remaining 3 tabs are available for teachers to view past records of students' entries and perform updates.
Some potential enhancement we would like to add in the future is to incorporate Temi SDK into the robot. This will make our application more interactive by giving it more features. A second potential enhancement is to create a second app for administrators and teachers so that Temi can assist with some of the tasks usually done by teachers. This will be helpful when there is manpower shortage. And lastly, after feedback from the live demo from visitors of the TP Open House 2020, another potential enhancement identified is to randomize the emoji's position and remove the colored row, as this will allow students to choose their mood freely. This is because the color might make students feel more reluctant to show their true feelings, as choosing the emoji in the red row indicates that a teacher will approach them later on. In conclusion, our project aims to tap into AI and incorporate it into the student care center by using customized application and Temi. Teachers can work hand in hand with Temi to facilitate teaching and learning. Temi can also ease their workload by optimizing interactions with students. Through the features shared earlier, our group has customized the application to meet the students' care center needs and mission. Robots such as Temi has not yet been implemented in any student care center, hence making Temi an innovative pioneer that will enhance teachers and students' teaching and learning experience.
Thank you, students. Now I would like to thank all our speakers once again for taking time off from their busy schedules to be with us today. Before you leave, I would like to request all of you to provide feedback on today's webinar by scanning the QR code on the screen in front of you. We would greatly appreciate your feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that the QR code or link has been published in the Q&A chat as well, so you can click on the link there for feedback. And we have now come to the end of the Temasek Polytechnic InfoTech Day 2022 webinar. We hope you have found the talks interesting and informative. Thank you all again for joining us today, and we hope to see you again next year. Please provide your valuable feedback and check out the TP InfoTech Day 2022 microsite to view our student projects by scanning the QR codes. Thank you and have a good week ahead.